Global News. Global News Sports.
The Jazz and Blues.
Look, I just want to tell y'all right now, okay, the teams that lost their first week to non-power or autonomous members outside the group of five, or I'm sorry, not the group of five, but the Power Four, you will not be making it to the playoffs this year. It's almost like you ruined your whole season on the first game of the season. And this is why the first game from here on forward is going to proven to be the most important game, one of the most important games of the season. Because, for an example, let's say UCF would have lost their first game to Kent State. They would not, no matter how many other games that they've won in the season, unless they went 11-1, they would not be considered for the playoffs. Now, even if they was in the discussion for the playoffs, they would draw back to that first game and be like, well, they kind of lost by 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns to Kent State. So therefore, that's why this team in the SEC, who lost one game to someone in the SEC or maybe a powered conference team, will be chosen for the playoff selection than a UCF. That's just an example. Now, for the teams that actually won, for an example, Baylor, there's no way they're going to the playoffs this year. Texas Tech, same thing. Who else lost their first week? Also, TCU, there's the exception. A lot of people, I hear them making discussions about TCU and losing to Colorado at home. Listen, Colorado is a good team, well coached, and I don't understand how I'm hearing all this talk like people didn't believe in the Colorado coach, Deion Sanders or whatever. Do you guys understand the caliber of person and player, so on and so forth, as Deion is? Likewise, you have to understand Deion lived, breathed, and fathomed football all his life. So how is it that you think he would not be able, that wouldn't translate well into coaching? See, this is where a lot of people don't do their research and their homework, and they always stereotyping or looking at someone in a negative way because of arrogance. You have to understand, 90% of all these successful NFL players would ultimately be good coaches in college, obviously, because they know the game, but they know it they've played college before. See, this is what y'all not understanding. They also was a college player, and then they advanced to the professional level, and then not only did they advance, they was good at the professional level. So how is it that you doubt a superstar of this caliber in the field of football, and that's his profession? That makes no sense. And this is the stuff that I be talking about when I be hearing people making comments that don't make no sense at all. There's no logic to what they say. They're just running their mouth, commentating. There's no way that Deion Sanders is not going to do well, period. You might as well get used to, I'm going to just say this now, you might as well get used to Deion Sanders winning football games on the college level, if not in the national title from time to time, once every other year, and all of his players on his team going to the professional league, as well as Heisman Trophy talk, Heisman winner talk, all of these accolades, because he got them, and this is what he produced. The apple does not fall too far from the tree. How is it that you take a superstar NFL player and says he don't know how to coach and he can't motivate the team and do? Colorado is going to do well this year and so many other years to come. As long as Deion coaching, he might end up moving to another team in the Big 12 or wherever. But the point is, Deion Sanders is going to now make his mark in another chapter, in another page of his chapter as one of the best college coaches that ever did it, period. And I can honestly say, for all those universities, this is an announcement, for all the universities that are looking for coaches that will turn programs around, then you need to start looking at retired NFL players. I repeat, for all the universities that are trying to turn their college or basketball, you would just do the same thing, but you would flip the roles. But we're talking about football right now. For all the universities that want to make a change in their football program, then hire a retired NFL football player. And one of accolades, like for an example, Michael Irvin would make a good football coach. Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens, Emmitt Smith. I'm just giving you examples. Those who have won Super Bowls, who have accelerated on the professional level, they know what it takes to win. And I guarantee you, if you want to turn your program around, you hire a retired professional football personnel. So that is what is to be expected. All right. Whenever you have that, then you must expect success with that. Moving forward, looking at the next week's games that's coming up. Okay. Utah did a good job last week by defeating Florida. Now they're facing more of like a in-rival, or should I say in-conference matchup that stems with Baylor, even though they're in the Pac-12 right now. But Baylor and Utah is going to be the next it game for this week coming up for the Big 12, just like the TCU Colorado. Utah and Baylor is going to be the game to watch. And I guarantee you, just looking at these two teams and these two games from previous week, it seems like Baylor had their head in the clouds, and they must flip the switch on, because it was definitely off. If they are going to want to win this game, if they're going to win this game, they have to do that. More so, you have to also look at Utah. Utah is playing at a high caliber right now. We don't know if the starting quarterback will be playing this game against Baylor or not, but it really don't matter from the looks of how they played against Florida. And Florida, I would say, playing on the same level as Baylor. So if that's the case, it's a good chance that Utah may win this game. Now, look out for that, but I can honestly tell you, in a 75 to 25% chance that Baylor will not win this game, especially if they play like they played last week. Once again, thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to have a great day. Global News. Like and subscribe. Global News. Global News Sports.